We're recently out and about.
Out and about!
Denise and I were in Florida. Naples, Florida to be exact.
Naples.
And we found this bad boy.
King of the crop.
You can't find this. And if you do, you need to grab it. This is some really, really good stuff. It's Fortaleza. And this is their Blanco.
Get in.
We're gonna go try it. Let me just tell you something really quick. Always pour your friends first.
Hey yo.
Be respectful.
That's respect right there. Boom chaka.
Boom. Here's an interesting tidbit of information about these guys. Really quick.
Tell me.
Each one of these is hand carved.
Really?
Yep.
I can believe it.
And the bottles are hand filled. Like, it's not on a bottling line.
Right.
It's just people getting in there, filling
like
the bottle, throwing these handmade corks. And this is real cork.
Love that.
Not plastic, not whatever.
Yes.
It's real cork.
Wow, I love that. Don't you just love that? Look at that.
You should love that. It's kind of like another nod to the culture, the Mexican culture, and being so creative and so artistic, and
Yes.
art being such a center focus. Like, it's just, you go down to Mexico, there's just art everywhere.
Yep.
And it's
All
so
on the street.
beautiful.
Love that. Need to go back. Going back soon, actually. Not soon.
Really,
soon.
let's go. I want to go back soon.
We have a trip planned in November for Mexico, and
Let's go.
definitely gonna be looking for tequila down there.
Do it.
Have to.
Ooh. He's got to bring a camera with him.
Yes. This smells.
This is a little darker
It is. It does smell a little.
than
dark.
other, Blancos that we've had.
Yeah, not as bright, but still very refreshing.
So these guys actually use wood fermenters.
I can see that. I can smell that.
If you go to their website, they have a video kind of like walking through some of the different areas where they're making this stuff, and they're like 3,000 gallon wood barrels, it looks like,
Oh my gosh.
which is baller. And then they have 2 small copper stills. So I mean, this isn't a huge operation. That's why it's so hard to find, because
Sure.
the volume just isn't there for it. But right now, Don Guillermo is the owner and master distiller down there at Fortaleza. He's kind of the one that runs the whole thing.
Yeah.
But his great-great-grandfather
Yeah.
was one of the first people to export tequila to America, to the United States, back in like 1873 or something like that. That's when he started,
Yeah. Sure.
which
Dang.
is crazy.
Great great grandfather.
Yep.
Abuelo. Love that in the 1870s. Dang, that's some old juice. An old recipe.
Old rasp. I gotta go for it.
Do it. Yeah, you're right. It's not like we just did a review on a different Blanco, but it was still strength, but it was a lot brighter on the nose for me. And this is just not dulled down, but I could tell it's just not as bright. It's
Right.
Not as, yeah.
This is a different. Could be a different water source. These guys have their distillery on the side of a dormant volcano outside of Tequila, Mexico.
Whoa! That tastes really good. Very smooth.
Good. It's got a light pepper.
A little bit.
Like some of the other Blancos that we've had have this really dark black crack black pepper like note to it, which I love. Big fan. This one has like a more muted, almost white pepper kind of a taste to it.
And the agave tastes a little different.
Yep. So they use steam
That's good.
to roast their agave, and everybody kind of does it different. There's some people that do steam, there's some people, but other people will roast it in a pit.
Yeah, right.
So they'll put this, whatever smoldering thing, and then
Yeah.
put all the agave around it,
Yeah.
and then bury that.
Yes.
And roast
I've
it
seen
that way.
that. Yeah.
This
they
is
steam it.
This is in a brick oven, and they use steam to kind of extract all the.
Huh.
I think again his great grandfather was kind of or maybe it was his grandfather, that was the one that kind of invented that system or that way of doing it.
Yeah.
So that's super interesting as well.
It's very cool. They have their own patented form of
That-
extracting.
Yeah, and that gives it another flavor, right?
Yeah, of course. Man, that is sick. Maybe that's what I'm trying to find out, that flavor of the steamed agave.
Right.
Because I'm trying to figure out the flavor that I can't figure out what it is right now.
Yeah.
And that maybe that's just it. But
It's so interesting.
it's very different. It's very different than like your traditional roasted agave
Right.
taste.
And some people will roast it with fire in a brick oven,
Okay.
instead of doing the
In that
smoldering
pit.
in the pit,
Yep.
covering it. And that's another thing that gives tequilas that different flavor.
Man.
It's like there's more complexity to making tequila than one might think.
Oh, 100%. I thought it was going to be so simple.
Yeah. Get some agave, crush it up, throw it in the fermenter.
Right.
Everybody gets the same thing, but
Right.
it's completely different how each family or distillery makes
Mm-hmm.
their tequila, which is crazy. Again, this is a very tiny little distillery.
Yeah.
Like when you watch the video on their website and you see one of their people standing next to their little copper pot still, they only have 2 of them, and you're like, dang,
That is so fire.
those guys got to be pumping this stuff out nonstop,
Right.
which is nuts. And so you think too, this one just came out, they just kind of started it all back up and released it in 2005.
This Blanco?
The-
Or
the
just
brand.
the brand?
Yep, the brand restarted.
Fortaleza.
Yep.
Wow.
So back in 1996, Don Guillermo,
Yep.
the latest of the ancestry of the Fortaleza
yes.
brand,
Yes.
he came in 96, started revitalizing that distillery because the family still owned it.
Yep.
The family still owned the land around it and the distillery and everything. So he came in, started renovating the thing. Was like, let's start making tequila again. Because his dream was, he thought his dad was going to keep things going, but he had sold the previous brand before Fortaleza.
Okay.
He had sold that off. But his dream was to travel around the world in a mariachi band talking about
Oh, that's
Fortaleza and
sick.
selling it like that,
That's
right?
fire.
And so when his dad sold the brand, he was kind of super bummed, but then boom, 96 came
Brought it
in,
right back.
revitalized the place, and then in 2005 launched it. And now it's back.
Using all of his great grandfathers.
Yep. Added it free again.
Right, still. That's the way to go. It
Yep.
truly is. Now understanding additive free and additive tequila.
The benefits.
It's even just the taste
Yes.
is completely different than
It's more authentic, it's
additive
more
tequila.
real.
Mhm.
It's not just tasting syrupy sugar.
With a little bit of agave taste.
Yep. Barely.
It's completely different.
Yeah.
Yep, it's fabulous.
So if you can find a bottle of this is near impossible up here in Minnesota. But if you can find one, this is definitely a bottle to grab.
Yeah, it's fire. It's really, really good tequila.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes, please.
We're growing this channel. We've got a lot of exciting things coming up, including the Mexico trips to tour these awesome distilleries
Yes.
and knobs.
It's coming. It will come.
That's right. We'll see you all in the next one.